Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope all of you are doing well today, and recently I started working on making the next set of playtest cards for Collided Worlds TCG, and so I've already made all the red cards, so my plan for this wave of test cards is to do every card in the set, at least 2 copies of each card in every color. So today I'm going to be starting with all the red cards, and I thought I'd take you through them. And one thing you can see right away is all the cards now have art, a little bit of art on them, so that the playtests, when I do future playtests with these cards, they'll have some art and it'll be easier to identify them in the videos. And also it'll give you something a little more to look at than like some blank space in the middle. So starting off, I've got the action cards here. You've got Targeted Shot, which is an action card that deals 300 damage to a unit. So already you can see a little bit of change here from some of the previous cards. If I can get the older version. So if we look through here, you can see the old version of Target Shot was KO target unit. I've actually moved this effect to a different card, which we'll see later, but yeah, so already some of the cards are changing a little bit. But there's the first one, Targeted Shot. As you can see, I made 2 different versions of 2 different copies of it. You got Quick Draw, which is, if you're familiar with the Make Your Own card game, you get to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, add one of them to your hand, discard the other. Nice little bit of draw support. Hypermobility, which gives a unit rush until end of turn, allowing them to attack on the same turn they come in. So you could play a unit, follow it up with this, and then they can attack right away. Got Morale Boost, which gives a unit 200 CP, an extra bit of CP so they can dish out a little more damage. Sudden Surge, which if your opponent declares a blocker, you can play this to give your unit, one of your attacking units, 200 CP. And here's Burst Attack, which just allows you to knock out a unit. And I've also changed the 4 a little bit. There's Counter Punch, which if your opponent declares an attack or a blocker, you can play this to deal 300 damage to that unit, which can potentially take it out and allow you and either prevent an attack from coming toward you, or you can stop a blocker right there. Bombardment, which deals 200 damage to each opposing unit, so it's a nice way to clear the board. And speaking of board clears, there's Apocalypse Now, which is probably the most expensive action in the game so far, but it simply allows you to knock out all units. And that about does it for all the action cards. Now I want to get into the units, which also have a new thing. As you can see, there's a plus next to the number of action points in the corner here. So units have these pluses which show you that you gain action points, while the action cards do not have this plus, which shows that they cost that many action points. So it's a nice little separation for the 2 card types. And so starting off the units, you've got Eager Recruit, who is a soldier, 100 CP, backup plus 100, and when this unit performs a joint attack alongside another soldier unit, it gets 200 CP, so which can be pretty nice if you like to use those joint attacks to team up. Heavy Gunman, another soldier with 800 CP, no effects, but it's pretty powerful. Sniper Man, 500 CP, and it can attack units with evasive. That also leads to a rule change I'm making with the game, is that in addition to attacking your opponent directly, you also have the option to attack an opponent's frozen unit. And so I've also changed a little bit how evasive works. It's now more of a defensive ability, sort of like how it is in the Make Your Own card game. So while an evasive unit is frozen, it can't be attacked except with evasive units or units like this Sniper Man here. And then you've got Assault Trooper, 500 CP soldier with Rush, meaning it can attack once you put it down. You have Grenadier, who has the ability you can You can freeze him, and you can deal 100 damage to target unit. Act abilities require you to freeze them to use them. You've got the Elite Trooper here. 800 CP, but if you control 3 or more soldier units, he becomes 1000 CP, which is nice. And then the final soldier is General D. 600 CP, but when you put a soldier unit into play, you get to draw a card, which is nice to help keep your hand full when you're playing a soldier deck, as red kind of struggles a bit with drawing cards. I know there's quick draw, but that's really the only option so far, aside from this, of course. We've got Delta Warrior Pyro as well. Each of the 4 colors is getting a Delta Warrior to start off with. It's a hero with 400 CP, backup plus 200, which is the highest backup so far on a character. And his action ability gives another hero unit you control plus 100 CP and rush until end of turn. Speaking of rush, there's Chloe, a hero with 500 CP and rush, so it's kind of similar to the Assault Trooper, except that this is a hero instead of soldier. Now we get to the Brawlers. This is the other of the 2 major archetypes for red. So 500 CP, backup plus 200, and this unit cannot block, so he's strictly an attacker. But he's still pretty nice power. Dexter, of course. Brawler, if you control Billy as well, he gets rush. He's basically unchanged from his previous form. Billy's pretty similar, only instead of rush, if you control Dexter, he gets an extra 300 CP, so he becomes 700 if you have both of these 2 in play. Overdrive Man, this is another card from the Make Your Own card game. He's a brawler with 1500 CP, which is actually the most of any of the units in the game so far. He doesn't give any action points when you play him, though. And he also has an ability where he has to attack each turn if able, so that's something you have to keep your eye out for. Next is Malicious Master Max, 1000 CP, and when he is knocked out by battle, you get to free play a unit with 500 CP or less from your hand. So if you happen to have a card like Johnny or Chloe in your hand when he gets knocked out by battle, you can... Max here can allow you to play those cards for free. Next is Cadavius Butt Smasher, who's one of the EX rares in the game. Each of the colors has 2 EX rares, which are the highest rarity of the cards. He has 1000 CP, and he has the ability to attack ready units. Usually you can't attack ready units, but Cadavius here is one of the few who has that ability to do so. And then the final character here is Corona the Crimson Flame. 1200 CP dragon. Every color is going to get a special dragon character. And when this unit attacks and does damage to a player, it's going to deal 2 damage instead of 1. So instead of taking 1 stock when they get the hit, your opponent is going to take 2 instead. And that about does it for all the cards in red. I've already started working on cards in some of the other colors, but they're not quite ready to show yet. But that's just kind of the thing I've been working on. Thank you very much for watching. Definitely leave a like if you enjoyed, and comment below what you think of the new playtest cards, the layout, and just some of the art. Again, this art's kind of simple, but I wanted to have a little something on there for when I do future playtests, so it's just not blank. So, of course, you can subscribe on the left, and on the right is a playlist of other videos in this series on Collided Worlds that you can check out. I'll see you in whatever video I upload next, and take care.